Hey folks, Steve Alcorn here with you once again. My green screen is doing weird things. That's okay. So today we're going to talk about cease and desist letters. Right up there, cease and desist. What they are, what do you do in the cease and desist letter instance? Today I did get one, but before we go into the topic, don't forget to like this video, share it if you think it'll help somebody else. Hit that thumbs up button, hit the thumbs down button if you don't like it. Also, make sure that you ring the bell so you know when I'm going to upload more stuff. Sorry, I've had a cold. If this bothers you, you can tune away now, but I've got to clear my throat. And I'm probably going to do it again. So, anyway, today I got a cease and desist letter. And the first thing I did was panic. No, I didn't do that. However, I've gotten cease and desist letter in the past. About 6 or 8 months ago, maybe a year ago, I got a cease and desist letter from GNC Products. GNC makes the pills and the bodybuilding stuff and all that crazy health nut stuff, uh, which I'm not one of. But I did buy the stuff at a retail arbitrage and got the cease and desist letter shortly after buying it. Sold a lot of it. Sold a lot of it before I got the cease and desist letter. And then I got a cease and desist letter and I panicked because I didn't know what to do. And there wasn't a lot of information on the internet. And uh, what I should have done is called and talked to some friends, but I didn't. So I just pulled all my listings and kind of ate the profit on that. And that was probably not the best course of action. But for me at the time, my pain tolerance was very, very, very low because I was fairly new to Amazon, and I did not want to ruin my account over a bottle of pills that I paid $1.75 for. Not worth it. And so I just pulled it. So today I get another cease and desist letter from a company called Voorhees. The original one came from Voorhees as well, Vorys. You can look them up. They send these out all the time. Today it was for GlaxoSmithKline products. GlaxoSmithKline makes a lot of stuff, mostly health and beauty type stuff, toothpastes and pills and all sorts of things. They make a lot of stuff. So got a cease and desist from them today. And this time I did not panic because number one, I was already out of the product. We sold a couple hundred, maybe 300 of these items. We had 3 different versions of the item, and we sold out of them really quickly. In fact, they sold so fast that I never even got to send them into FBA. They were all merchant fulfilled. They were just flying off the shelves. We couldn't keep them in stock. We were listing them in the stores, and by the time we got home, they were sold. We sometimes we hit 30 stores in a day. I mean, we sold a lot of these things. And I knew the cease and desist letter was coming because a couple of weeks ago, somebody from GlaxoSmithKline bought some of my items. And the reason I knew it was them, generally I don't check on addresses. I will send a package anywhere. I don't care. I don't look at the address. I just print the label, slap it on the box, send it out. But this time they had ordered an overnight shipment. And so I'm like, who's going to order an overnight shipment on this $35 item? At the time, I think that's what we were selling them for. And they wanted it overnighted. And I'm like, who's crazy enough to spend 20 or so extra dollars to get this thing overnighted? Well, it turns out it was the marketing department of GlaxoSmithKline. So I knew something was up. They're not going to buy their own product for expedited shipping. It turns out they actually had bought 2. They bought one the day before that they got regular first class shipping. So anyway, I was out of the product by the time the letter came. But what if I wasn't? What would I have done? I would have just lowered my price a little bit and sold out. I wouldn't have pulled the listings right at the beginning. Even the letter that they sent you gives you 5 days, 10 days, something like that to comply with their demands. So do you have to comply with their demands? Legally, no, you do not. Cease and desist letters are not legal documents, whether they're written by a lawyer or not. They are a precursor to a legal thing, to a lawsuit, if they so choose to. If you do not comply with what they want you to do, they are a precursor to that, but they're not a legal document on their own. I can write a cease and desist letter today. I'm going to get a sip of coffee. Oh, I got the green cup today. Look at that. Isn't that neat? So I could write it if I'm selling a product and I don't want somebody else to sell it. I can write a cease and desist letter. You can find a cease and desist form letter all over the internet. But this one was written by a law firm. Now, Voorhees is a legitimate law firm. Will they sue you if you're selling a product that they represent? Probably not. Um, but what is your pain tolerance? So you gotta weigh out where you think you are pain tolerance wise to decide for yourself what you're going to do in this situation. This document is not legally enforceable. It's just a warning letter. So you got to take that into account when you're selling on Amazon. What is your pain tolerance? What do you want to do? Do you think that you can get rid of the product before there's any issue? Do you think you should pull the product, or do you think that they're going to sue your ass? They're probably not going to sue your ass, but I guarantee if you continue selling the product, you'll get a second nasty gram. That's what I call them, and the third one will probably be a lawsuit. So have they done it? I couldn't find any evidence that Voorhees has ever sued anybody over this, but that doesn't mean they haven't. So we're pretty small time people. Most of us, most of the you that listen to this channel are pretty small time sellers compared to the big ones on Amazon. Now, so don't make a lot of threats in these letters. They'll make threats like you violated our trademark, you violated our copyright, you violated. They call it the product not being legitimate because you can't have the warranty. In fact, I have the wording here. I'd hold the letter up, but see what it does? It kind of blends into the green screen. They actually gave me a list of about 30 products I'm not allowed to sell anymore. So they'll tell you may not be sold except unless you're an authorized reseller. That's the first thing. Your sales are unlawful. And then they go into copyright and trademarks and all that kind of crap. Your sales are likely to cause consumer confusion because you're not an authorized reseller, which, yeah, whatever. Excuse me. The products you sell are materially different from genuine GSK products. Well, in fact, they are a genuine GSK product. GlaxoSmithKline is GSK. They are a legitimate GSK product, but what they can say material different because you can't uphold the warranty that they have on them. So if there's a warranty on something and you're a third party seller not authorized, you can't cover the warranty on that thing. And that's where they get you most of the time. If they really wanted to press the law on you with this thing, that's the one they would use because there are case law that provide for them to do that. So that's their main defense right there, that section. Because you can't do the warranty, it doesn't count as a first sale doctrine. You can yell first sale doctrine all you want. If they want to push it, they can claim that. But whatever. The products you sell are not subject to, interfere with, and do not adhere to rigorous quality controls that are exercised over genuine GSK products. Like I said, it is a genuine GSK product, and up until the point you bought it from the store, it went through the rigorous quality control that they're talking about. What they're claiming there is once it leaves that store, they have no idea how you treat their product and what happens to it from the time you buy it to the time the customer gets it. They have a little bit of claim there too. So they may be able to, because you can't, it's chain of custody and all that stuff comes into play. So your acquisition and sale of products bearing the GSK trademarks interfere with GSK contracts and business relationships with its authorized resellers. And finally, to avoid a lawsuit, you must cease and desist your sales immediately. Yeah, okay. And it talks about giving them your suppliers. You have to email them by February 25th, which is several days away. And call them or email them and give us a supplier list so that we can go after your suppliers or find your suppliers or whatever it is. Yeah. So are you obligated to do any of that? No. You're not obligated to do anything that letter says because it's not a legally binding document. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't even play one on TV. That's just what I understand to be the law, that you do not have to comply with this letter. If you do not wish to, you can call Amazon and check on that if you want to. I'm going to usually comply by lowering my price and get rid of the product. And prior to the date, hopefully, that letter says I need to respond by. Because you can bet your bippies they're going to go through and check your account again. And if you don't comply, they're going to send you a second nasty gram. And who knows what happens after that. I'm not the type to push my luck. But I will continue to sell the product until it's sold out, as long as it beats that deadline generally. Your mileage may vary on that. Your pain tolerance might be higher than mine. The problem with me is that Voorhees is based in the same state I am. And the chances that they sue me being in the same state are a little bit higher because it's easier to do. If you're from California, they don't have an office there. It does look like they have one in Pennsylvania, one in Texas, and several in Ohio. So I switched to the red cup because it says sweet water on it. So anyway, that's my cease and desist video for today. You got to do what you got to do. Whatever you think is best. Do some research on this company. Do some research on what is appropriate to do when you get a cease and desist letter. Generally, ceasing and desisting is probably the best option for you. No matter what I say, no matter what anybody else says, you have to do what you think is the right thing and the best thing in this situation. Chances of being sued are low, but there's always a chance there. So you got to make sure where your tolerances are at. So before we leave today, I do have a course on ungating on Amazon. It's down in the description below. It's under slicktoys.net is the website. We mainly focus on the toy category because that's where everybody wants to sell. I give you 4 suppliers that their invoices actually work with Amazon, 3 of which I've actually used myself. I take you through a walkthrough of their websites, and I actually make a live order in the course. I also show you how to submit the invoices and everything from step 1 all the way through the end. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, the first 3 lessons are free. So if you want to go ahead and check them out, go do it. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, hit that bell. You guys have a good day.